This is the part you never normally see, where raw alloy turns into a frame, all inside one factory. And in this video, we're going to go deep behind the scenes to see exactly how these bikes are made. I'm at the Nicolai factory in Germany. This is where they make the famous handmade bikes, CNC machined, welded, painted and finished all in this factory here. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the entire process from start to finish.
Since 30 years, basically, since the company was founded in 1995, we are trying to perfectionalize how alloy frames are produced.
Every Nicolai starts here, where sketches and 3D models become the blueprint for the entire frame.
So here we start from the first sketches to the full 3D modeling, prototyping, testing, and then releasing the different models and steps to the mass production.
All of this helps to make sure the frame is proven on screen before any metal is even cut. And from here, the whole process moves into the factory, starting with the raw materials.
Wareneingang in English is material income. Let's get in, and I think we start with where the raw material comes in. To produce our bikes, we need two components. One is this blank material of alloy. Here we see extrusions and tubings. 95% of all alloy bicycle frames are made of 6000 series alloy, which is like used in Asia. A little bit we do the jokes sometimes. The 6000 alloy is the one which is made for Coke cans, and the 7000 alloy series is like what airplanes are made of. We use 7000 series alloy, which has like a higher strength at lower weight.
Okay, so higher like tensile strength, yeah. And did you say a lower weight?
Yeah, lower. I mean, of course, if the strength is higher, you can either make the bike more strong or more light. Here you can see this will be the linkage. So whenever we don't go for like this quadratic pieces, we just do that to reduce the CNC machining time. I mean, anyway, it's immense to machine it from a block to the final used part, but with an extrusion, that's how we call it, where you can prepare a shape, but then it's like with a cake, you just push it through and then you get this bar in the shape. This is the extrusion shape.
Ah, okay, so that cut down into a little, lift it, crikey. Well, I mean, yeah, that's heavy.
So this will be approximately 7 kilograms, how it enters the factory, and now as comparison, lift the final.
So it starts like that, it goes through a machining, milling process.
Correct. Then you have to turn it in the machine to also cut the bottom part.
And this is the final piece? Yeah. So that turns into that. That's so cool. And this is where the CNC machining actually happens, turning the raw blocks into finished frame parts.
So now we are coming to our most modern and recently purchased machine. I'll show you over here. So this is a 5-axis CNC machine, which has automatic feeding, where we can put in now 8 pieces of, in this case, 7 kilo block, which is making the shock linkage. Actually, lucky that you've seen one of our most exciting parts, I guess. From this block to here, this all goes without moving the part in the machine.
Oh, wow. So that's what a 5-axis machine can do, right?
Correct. And this is like, I mean, this is 1 hour, 40 minutes. And then we have to like take the part out, swap it to make the second part. And then after another 17 minutes, this is done and the part is ready.
And how much does that weigh?
That is 200 to 250 grams.
You're taking off 6.8 kilos to get this.
But don't worry, it's not all waste what we get out of there. So we, of course, recycle it in loops and loops so that we got a lot of machining time, but we don't throw away 95% of the material. And the energy needed to recycle it and to like put it back to bars is much lower than like initially producing the alloy. So that's why we can continue doing that in circle. I mean, this is quite exceptional because In the beginning, I explained that we have tubes or blankets that we CNC machine. Here we have both, basically. So we get this as a tube, but we also CNC machine the areas where we can reduce the weight. And of course, also at some point give it the look, which is like unique, and you will always, even if there's no Nicolai sticker on here, I think you can recognize.
I know exactly what bike this is from as well. It's an MGU bike, right?
That's right, that's right.
A lot of people might think that this is just you working with lots of raw metal and it's all being welded together. Welding is part of it, but actually a lot of it's high-tech milling and CNCing to kind of form these parts here, which is more than, you might think Nicolai do.
Yeah, and that's why also, I mean, we have this table here. We also see the claim manufacturing excellence made by Nicolai. This is, of course, we do handcraft things like welding. Also, you will see in the assembly a lot of manual processes, but also with inviting customers, inviting visitors to see the factory. We of course also want to show that it's really high tech here. It's not like 2-3 people sitting there and with their hands just building a couple of frames in a week. So
you've got like a fusion of like old school welding and new tech CNCing, which is
correct.
Quite fascinating.
And I think this is what is also required to keep us alive. I mean, I would guess, I mean, if it's wrong, everyone can correct me on that, but I think in a 4-digit output a year, I think we are the last bike company in Germany who is doing this depth in the production and the full frame manufacturing in-house.
Next, the frame's tubes are cut so every angle matches perfectly before the tack welding starts.
So you see here, this is all the raw material or all the ingredients for one frame.
So this is a whole bike here?
This is the whole frame in this tray. It's moved. You can see here all the radiuses are still missing. The holes are missing. So from here, they are moved to the machine. So you will see it in a minute. This is the fixture. We got all the tubes which are required for one particular frame put into the machine. He's like now pre-assembling the tubes for the cutting. What you see here now is they don't have the radius to like connect it to the interfering tube. This is all flat now, and what is done here is that they get all the radiuses needed to put them together. The tool making we also have in-house, where we produce all the jigs and holders to build a single frame. Here, even the CNC part, which is the seat clamp, gets also the cutout where the seat clamp gusset is connected to the top tube, because that is one part which we use for various models. But of course, depending on the frame size, the angle, how it hits the top tube can be flatter, can be higher, can be... Now the machine is finished. We see that now all the tubes for one particular frame, they got their radius cutouts for the welding. They got this, the holes here also on the head tube. They got this clamping for the seat tube, and now they are all taken out of here, put into this particular welding jig, which is where you can see the model here and the size here, and it's prepared for the welding there. Next door, there's a big wall with all the different models from the past, from the present, and what we plan in the near future. Every size and model needs its own jig to be precise. We can see here when it came out of the machine that here it's tack welded. You will see it also that this does not have the welding line appearance yet, which we will have later on when we go into that holy welding room, I call it. So hey Rob, now I'm taking you to the real core of the company, which is our welding area. Our most loyal and longest employees here, Thorsten and Sascha. Sascha is working here for 29 years already, and Thorsten had his 25th anniversary with us this year. I mean, the company is only 30 years old. So.
Congratulations. You must really like your job.
Yes, I do.
I mean, we take care of him. Yeah? I mean, that's that whenever I come here, the first move is I go into here and see, okay, if it's full of frames, then company is running.
Can you notice your own welds? You could say that's your welding or his welding.
Yes, I can do.
Right.
I have 3 or 4 millimeters, Thorsten 1 millimeter.
I think you can compare it to your signature, no? I
Right,
mean, you do
okay,
your
yeah.
signature in
Yeah.
a certain way, and you will see, hey, is it fake or is it
So
mine?
cool. Do you prefer to work on the same bike in a day, or do you have variations?
We do one bike every week.
Yeah, one
Okay.
bike model.
Yeah.
And then you'll move on to a completely different
Yeah.
bike. Okay. The two welders are basically doing every Nicolai frame.
Every Nicolai frame. So if anyone out there like has a Nicolai frame at home, either Thorsten or Sascha have definitely welded it.
These weld seams are a Nicolai trademark. The machines can prep the parts, but the character and the strength of the frame comes from these welders who have been doing it for decades. So you guys basically are known for your, the welding. It's such a cool look to the frame, brings that kind of industrial vibe to it.
Yeah.
And these guys have been doing it for such a long time. So I've got to ask, what happens if one of the guys needs a holiday or something?
No holidays in Nicolai. No, they are. I mean, we got a little bit extra capacity that, of course, they can also like go on their regular vacation, and the people can like continue. But it's, I mean, we got lucky. We got a third welder now starting in January, so that is this is really where the handwork is done and what you can see.
How long would it take to do all of this here?
You can say like one person can do 4 frames a day.
Okay,
So
one person,
that-
4 frames a day. Okay.
So that you can estimate we are not on millions in quantities.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very, up until this point, there's been a lot of automation, but here we see a lot of like skilled, like highly skilled work. So I'm assuming that not everybody can come in and weld like this.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even if we now hire a new welder in January, I mean, Sascha and Thorsten will know better, but there will be at least 2-3 months where they only do training welds. And I think we hope that in March, April, they can then also start. They start with the rear triangle because the welding lines there are a little bit thinner and not that visible.
Yeah.
But like making this identity of Nicolai on the main frame that needs some training. So now we see on this frame here, all the welding lines are done, coming out of the welding. Now we have the choice. We put it away for 6 weeks to make sure it gets the final strength, or we do a little bit the overtaking lane by
6 weeks, that's how
using
long
this-
it would take if you just left it to cure naturally.
just on room temperature, yeah.
Wow.
And here we can put it in the oven to make sure this is done over one night.
Got it. Okay.
And
So
then-
this is basically baking it and hardening it and then making
Correct.
sure
And
it's-
taking all the material stresses out, because like there's a lot of heat infusion coming while welding, and it's hardening it and taking the stress out.
After the welding is complete, each frame is aligned to make sure that every angle and pivot sits exactly where it should.
Of course, welding, heat in, oven, that puts distortion on. You can't produce the frame so precise that it's not distorted while welding or in the oven. So that's why every frame is put on the bench over here to do the final alignment. The key measurements is the rear axle against the bottom bracket, basically on a non-electric bike. It's the motor bracket on the e-bike, and against the head tube. Here we are in-house developing an alignment which goes automatic.
So this is an automated version of what we just saw over there.
Correct.
Okay.
This so you put in the frame once, it's digitally measuring, and then over here and over here applying the forces to do the alignment.
And Nicolai have built this? This
Yeah,
is a Nicolai invention?
It's in progress. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not finished yet, but we are doing this in-house. Like all the jigs, we have a tool shop just next door where we do the things in-house, just to be flexible on the variety of models we have, and yeah.
And it doesn't hold you up if you're waiting for third parties to create things.
Correct.
If there's a slowdown their end,
Yeah.
it's out of your control, but everything here is within your control.
Of course, that's one advantage, that the R&D department is sitting first floor over there. The welders sit down here. The machinery guys sit here, so they can meet within 5 minutes, discuss what's their findings, what's the fix, and
it seems to me, speaking to the team, that there's quite a lot of expertise as well. There's quite a lot of manufacturing expertise.
yeah, right. That is, that's what we need. I mean, the team is everything we have. No? I mean, you can buy machines, you can rent buildings, but in the end, it's the people. Even if you automate it, somebody has to control the automation, somebody has to understand the process. And that's why people, we've seen it with the welding guys that are here for decades, but that's also one part of our philosophy, to make sure that we get the fluctuation down as good as we can, make it as comfortable as we can. Of course, we are on the countryside here and not in a bigger city to attract employees, but when you have the right bike passion, at least it makes you stay for some time.
Yeah, cool.
After the heat treatment is done, after the welding is done, and after the alignment is done, we have now a really precise reaming to make sure you can the dropper's getting longer every day, and you need a really precise reaming from top to bottom. And this is what is done in the machine here. This is a massive drill which is going in all the way to make sure C-tube goes in smoothly in the end.
Next up is powder coating, which gives each frame a tough finish, and there's thousands of colours and options to choose from. So I'm with Chris, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Rob. I'm responsible for the surface coatings, that's powder coating. When the frames come over to me, they're basically finished. The frame, we could sell this frame as it is as a raw frame, but if the customer wants a powder coating, then it comes to me. Then I move the whole wagon over to me. One of the most important steps is to wash it, to make sure there's no oil or any of the coolant from the machines. This is a hand wash here with, we've got this Scotch-Brite, and normal household washing up liquid, basically. Fairy liquid, yeah. When they've been washed, they come in the oven to dry off, basically.
So you're nice and warm in here all the time.
I'm always warm, yeah. It's always about 30 degrees in here.
Okay, lovely.
And when they're dry, they have to cool down, obviously, because that's 180 degrees, so they cool down. Basically, this is the list of everything the frame, which model it is, whether the customer wants 29-inch wheels or 27.5, and the colours. You can see the powder is like a very fine, and basically it's a polyester plastic. It's completely free of all solvents, any liquids. It's completely dry, and the powder gets electrostatically charged in this piston.
Yeah.
And then through this charge, it sticks to the frame, basically, because it's like dust on the screen of your TV, or
it's basically magnetised to the frame.
Yeah, it's static, and then that's why it hangs on the frame then. I've got about 10 minutes work now, removing all the excess where I don't want the powder to be. That means removing all these bits here until I'm happy with the frame, that there's no, everything's okay. And then it gets moved into the oven, basically. And then This process that you can see here is then taking place. It's about 35 minutes in the oven. This powder coating, it melts in the oven, so you've got a plastic covering basically. That's just melted now, so it's been in the oven about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and that's going to go really matte after about half an hour in the oven.
Nicolai offers tons of colour combinations, and there's different finishes from matte to gloss, so every frame can be made to look unique.
We use the RAL classic table of colours. If they give us the 4-figure number, then we've either got it here in the store or we'll order it.
So you spoke earlier about the different kind of texture that you get on the paint depending on the...
That's right, this is a good example of a matte or a glossy second coat. So
and it looks different to my eye. It might not appear that different on camera, but depending on the light as well, you can see there's quite a lot of
normally, yeah,
reflectivity.
the effect comes through more with the glossy clear coat, but the matte with the matte clear coat, it's still quite a nice effect.
After we've seen a lot of machines, welding, and basically metal work, we now come to the point where we are coming closer and closer to the bike, to the final product. Here the bearings are put in, shock levers. Here.
So these are all the customers' orders with all
Correct.
all the parts ready to build the bike up.
Correct.
Yeah.
So basically, we don't have any frames lying here which don't have a customer.
Got it.
That's also how you see the variety in types and colors and so
Yeah.
on, because that's basically what the customer selected for their build. Here we get a little bit an impression of what all components are needed to assemble a frame. The bearings put in double sealed bearings with like proper grease on it. I don't think that we have built the exact same bike twice before. So there's always a little detail which people want.
So this customer's gone for like a red, and then
Yeah.
red decals as well?
Correct.
Yeah.
That we do the color matching, and we are also like now implementing a process how we can even match the decal color of the fork as well. I think that's the last thing where we can then maybe also have it individual decals on the forks as well.
And are most of your customers adding a level of customization to the bikes? Because I know when you look on the configurator page, you've got quite a lot of different options with the build kits and things like the extra love, like the color of the linkage and other parts. Do quite a lot of people take advantage of that?
Yeah, many people do that, and I think they at least use the configurator 10 times before finally ordering the frame. I would say the standard way is 10 times configurator, 5 times calling, 1 time visiting, and then the bike is done. And I want to show you one special piece. Wait here, because I think we went through a quite similar process of what I described before. And
oh, wow.
This is, I think, the moment where I can show you after several sending of color tubes and explanations on your S18.
That is absolutely incredible. Look at the color on that. That is insane. As I did the customer process, I went through and I placed an order. I'm not local, so you kindly sent me over some paint samples, and I think I had 5 different paint samples, and this one is, first of all, I got to say it looks absolutely stunning, but this is a Cerakote, right? Can you explain what that is? Because I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, this is actually, I think you're the first one besides our 30 happy customers of the anniversary bikes, which we have built this year, who is receiving a frame in this colorway. This is a ceramic coating. This is not like the standard powder coating, which we've seen also what we are doing in-house. The specialties of the Cerakote is, I mean, we are discussing welding lines, I think, since we are here. So this is a much, much thinner surface finish, which like even similar to raw, frame, you keep the appearance of the welding lines. And it's a very hard and very thin finish, and it gives this, I think when we would go out, the frame would look under sunlight completely different. And this is also one thing which is unique on the Cerakote, is that the decal is not a sticker, basically. This is painted also.
This is painted. This is one of the most beautiful frames I've ever seen, and the colour and the contrast is absolutely stunning. That looks so good. I cannot wait to build this up. Once the build passes the final inspection, every bike is packed into Nicolai's reusable bike box. A recyclable crate, actually. It's designed to be used again and again. So that's the full journey of how a Nicolai bike is made, from the initial sketches and raw alloy to machining, welding, paint and final assembly, all inside one factory. I'm taking my frame home from here, and in the next video I'll be building it into a proper dream bike. So if you want to see how this one turns out, make sure you're subscribed, because that video is coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and special thanks to Nicolai for inviting me over to see behind the scenes and to see how all these amazing bikes are produced.